I was using women for their bodies so that I could feel better, and I didn't care about theirs. As long as I got mine, we're all having fun, aren't we? Lust has nothing to do with sexual desire. It has everything to do with pride and your identity. Hey, homie, you used to be the man, homie. Today I have to be that husband. Today I have to be that coach. Today is the only opportunity that I know for sure that I'm gonna get to be able to get a little bit better and make sure that God's breath in me does not go to waste. How could the devil tempt Jesus? Stop beating your meat and start beating your flesh.
I was 55 pounds overweight. Me and my fiance just broke off our engagement. I was supposed to be having twins. I, in fact, did not have any twins. I had nothing but a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn, New York, a Nissan Murano, a full-time job, making $70K. Time education, that's not too bad. That's actually a lot. Point is, I had everything except control over my life. Because when it came down to making decisions, it was always for myself. And at one point, I'm thinking that I just had a lust issue. I'm like, dang, I can't stop sleeping with women. I can't control my tongue, whether it's in conversations, whether it's what I say, and what I did in the bedroom. Now, I want you to understand this. Nothing that I did was possible without the grace of God. But more than that, His sovereignty had to be matched with my human responsibility, meaning that I couldn't just sit down and pray hoping for change to come without me doing something about it. Some of you think that the prayer, the fasting is what actually gets you the deliverance. No, it's the work afterwards. You can't just pray, fast, and expect change to happen. The change happens in you. The change is not in the prayer. The deliverance isn't in the session. It's everything that happens afterwards. And so you want to break free from lust, from the drag of baddies keeping you in a chokehold. Meanwhile, you don't even like any of the sisters in church because you don't like no long skirts. You're just not bad enough. You want a Coke bottle baddie where you got a laundry bag aesthetic. Same as me. It was no different. And so I had to spend the next 2, 3, 4 years learning how to finally break off lust off of my life. Mastering it, because guess what? You cannot beat lust. It's always alive. One thing you're getting wrong is that you can beat it as if it's some video game that once you get over it, it never comes back. But guess what? As long as you're in this flesh suit, brother, it's never going anywhere. It just takes a different form. And so you get delivered from sexual lust. You stop beating your meat. You stop watching porn. But guess what? Now you're a glutton. You're a glutton. All you do is eat and drink and chill. And it's always for yourself. Lust is the top thing of pride. You have a pride issue, not a lust issue. Anytime it comes to yourself, you feel like you're so deserving. And don't worry, I got you, brother, that thinks you're not good enough. That's called self-pity. That is a version of pride itself, because you think of yourself so lowly. I'm so humble. I'm so meek. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to get out of lust. I just need God to redeem me. Well, guess what? That's pride. To see yourself so low that you're so encased in yourself and your own problems that you can't see deliverance no matter what. No wonder you're stuck. You're prideful. And I was too. I could be the first to say I was prideful. I saw my situation and said, well, of course I need a release. Of course I need an out. And so once I stopped beating my meat, once I stopped watching porn, I got delivered from that. You know how? My human responsibility. I understood the root of my lust. I wanted acceptance. I wanted to be cared for. I wanted to feel affirmed. I was bullied as a kid. I was never a cool kid. I was never brolic. I never had muscles. I never wanted anything but just to be friends with the cool kids. And then when I became the cool kid, and that brought me women, that brought me attention, that brought me affirmation, that brought me everything that I was waiting to have when I grew up and it actually happened, I didn't know what to do with it. It felt good, of course, in the moment. And then I found that the repercussions, the loneliness, the conviction, the guilt, it's a moment of affection just to get tossed to the side because she's not really my type. And only the ones that understand, the dudes that aren't normal, will understand this. You never have to try hard. You never have to do too much. It just flows to you. Never had to study. Never had to learn how to riz. It just comes to you. And that same gift is also the curse of always being stuck in potential. Everything is potential. And start understanding what is the root. What is at the core of it? Because once I got over that, because I closed the screen and started understanding every time I got the itch to touch myself, it was really me trying to escape the trigger of what's happening in my mind. There was something about my day, there was something about my life that I did not want to feel anymore. And so I could just call up Brittany, I could call up Jennifer, I could call up Stacy, and that just makes me feel good for a while. It's no different than smoking and drinking. Brother, man, listen,
It's a release. And so you can shame the dude that gambles, you can shame the dude that smokes or drinks, but you're in the same bucket. And I was too. I was using women for their bodies so that I could feel better, and I didn't care about theirs. As long as I got mine, we're all having fun, aren't we? Still going to church, mind you. Still going to church. I'm gonna show you the levels to this. I'm gonna show you the levels to this because listen, when it came to breaking that off, one by one, month by month, the strongest power is by saying no, understanding why I'm saying no, understanding where I want to be, where I want to get to, where I'm at, and how to close that gap. And that is the power of saying no. And once I started abusing that word, it broke off. All of a sudden, that palate changed. If you've ever fasted, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You'll be having all this food noise, all these things going through your head. You fast and everything just quiet, silence. There's not so much yappa, yappa, yappa all over your head. It's silence. You can actually focus and concentrate because your palate is clean. If you ever ate some sushi, you know what that piece of ginger is for. It's to clean your palate. When you cleanse your palate, you can taste things fresher and differently. So, my palate is clean. But I think I solved it. I think I solved this lust thing. Psych, I'm a glutton. Now I'm using food. Now I'm telling myself I can afford a cookie or two. The truth of the matter is, lust has nothing to do with sexual desire. It has everything to do with pride in your identity. Pride in your identity. And you don't want to be anything different because it feels too good. Sin is too fun. As much as you say, I want to break this off, I wanted this to change, the truth of the matter, every time you release, there's this dopamine effect that runs up scientifically. It's impossible. Your spirit is saying no, but your brain is saying yes. That's what I'm saying. It's not just going to change. It's not just a prayer. It's not just a conviction. It's not enough. It's not enough to just want change. You're not going to get this change by willpower. It only comes through changing your identity. And from the beginning of time, this is the same thing that the enemy been waiting for. He's been waiting for you to compromise your identity. He did the same thing to Jesus Christ himself. Why would he not pull the same stick with you? It worked on Peter. It worked on David. Worked on Samson. Why would it work with you? You're no different. There's nothing new under the sun. Understand this, when Satan took Jesus up on that mountain, he said, if you bow to me here, I'll give you all this world. That's to escape his pain. He said, if you are truly the Son of God, then you would throw yourself off this cliff. If you are truly the Son of God. Guess what? When it said that Satan tempted him, it's because temptation is a deep desire that he understands that we truly want to be affirmed in. So understand, Jesus Christ himself became 100% God in man incarnate, and the devil understood that he could tempt him with identity. If you are truly the Son of God, how could the devil tempt Jesus? Because he knows how strong identity is. You know what it truly means. If you're 100% sure of who you are and whose you are, it's impossible for him to shake you. That's why Jesus never sinned. Temptation doesn't mean sin. Temptation is a part of the human experience. As long as we're in this world and of this flesh, temptation will always come. But sin is the choice to choose to indulge in the temptation. And so guess what Jesus does? He quotes scripture. He quotes scripture. He didn't pray. He didn't fast. He was already fasted. He used scripture. Scripture is a sword. It's the weapon of which we fight off these carnal treasures. So scripture is what gives us identity. It's what gives us the language to understand whose we are and who we are. And without that, brother, waste of time. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You want change? Do you even know who you are? Do you know whose you are? How do I learn that? I can't tell you. Am I you? But I can show you how to find it out. I can show you how to take each step of the way to make sure you get there, but the work is on you. It's something that has to be revealed to you. I took my years getting at it, but that's exactly why I help others do it in weeks, months, and shorten it, because time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. We're already 6 years post-pandemic. You can't even blame the COVID thing anymore. It happened in 2020, 2026, 6 years removed. Have you seen any change? Have you seen any change? If you haven't, that's a good mirror moment to let you know feedback of what you've been doing. You feel like you've been fighting, you feel like you've been struggling. Man, if you check the scoreboard, it's called losing. It's not winning. It's not fun to lose. Everybody likes to win, and you're slowly letting the enemy win. When does it change? When you get married, when you have kids? When does it change? When is enough enough and you finally realize that time is of the essence and tomorrow's not promised? Who told you tomorrow was promised? Who told you that you could just start back up tomorrow? Who told you that you had that? Pride! Procrastination is pride. Let me slow this down.
I used to believe that when I didn't do well, I could just start back tomorrow because you know what? I'm not at 100%. I'm not going to go to the gym today because guess what? I didn't eat right, so I'm not going to have the right energy. And if my nutrition's not right, that's just going to throw off all of the progress. Because what point is it for me to eat this Popeye's chicken sandwich with cheese and bacon and then go hit a workout? That's fake. That is oxymoron. That is irony. Whatever you want to call it is backwards. And so I wouldn't go to the gym. Meanwhile, I missed to realize that one is better than none. It's better for you to do 5 minutes in the gym than 0. I had to realize if I had a choice of getting a 55-minute test or a 0, which one would I rather take? I promise you, I'm taking that 55 every time because at least I'm not getting a 0. That pulls up the whole average down. And so it's this all or nothing mindset thinking that, man, I have tomorrow. But who told you? Today is the day. Today is the day. Today is the day. And if it's not, then I don't know what happens tomorrow. And that's the all or nothing I'm putting on. That today I have to be that husband. Today I have to be that coach. Today is the only opportunity that I know for sure that I'm gonna get to be able to get a little bit better and make sure that God's breath in me does not go to waste. That's what I know for sure. And if I'm wrong, well, sheesh, at least I know I live today to 100% and I can see him and I can be ready to accept my well done, good and faithful servant. That's what I can put my money and my full assurance and confidence on. Even if I'm wrong, I know my faith will serve me well. You got the opportunity, but guess what? Tomorrow, mañana. I don't know what other day, man. I don't know how many other languages I got to put it in. And so, Jory, he lost over 20 pounds within 12 weeks, proposed to his girlfriend and quit his job. Do you understand the level and the power of being able to make that change? Delaney, I'm going to let him say it for himself.
What's good, y'all? My name is Delaney. I'm gonna make this video very brief. I just want to share with you guys the impact that Coach Jonathan has led on my life. I was in a very dark hole. I just finished up my last year of football, and I didn't know what life had for me. I was very depressed, struggling with pornography. I've been struggling with that my whole life, and I felt like I was in this very dark hole, and I felt like I had chains on me, and I didn't feel alive. And it was just very depressing. I didn't know what to do. I ended up scrolling and seeing one of Jonathan's videos. I ended up reaching out to him, and just from that call, that 30-minute call, that hour call, my life changed for the better. And I'll let Jonathan go into deep detail about the conversation and how it goes, but the structure and the things and the gifts that he shares through that call really impacted my life. And I'm so grateful for that conversation. Probably one of the most impactful conversations I've had in my life, because since then I haven't watched pornography. I haven't been depressed. I've been truly living up to God's mission in my life, and I feel more alive than ever. And a lot of kudos goes to Jonathan, and all the kudos goes to the Lord. You know, I couldn't have done this without the Lord. I'm so glad the Lord put Jonathan into my life so I can meet and talk with him. But really, the conversation was a true gift. So I'd really advise you guys, if you feel like you're in the same spot as me, or maybe in a worse spot. Like, I can't relate to y'all, but whatever spot that y'all are in, I'm telling you, this conversation and meeting with Jonathan was the best thing I could ever do for my life. I truly feel like alive, more alive than ever, and that goes to Jonathan. So reach out to him, talk to him. He really knows what he's talking about. He has a structure. He's professional. He's on point.
And he's made his own transformation himself. Understand this. You've been withdrawing from your life so much, now you're broke. I'm not talking about financially. You've been making so many withdrawals from your life, now you're broke. You have nothing to show for it, but have this opportunity to make deposits. Pour back into your mental, pour back into your emotion, pour back to your physical self so that you can peak in high school. If high school is the peak of your aesthetic, dang, homie, you used to be the man, homie, back in high school. That was your peak. That was when you looked your best. You're 32 years old. And you peaked in high school? Have mercy. If that's what you want, you can have it. But I'm looking for soldiers in the Lord. I'm looking for some Davids. I'm looking for some Solomon. I'm looking for Peters. I'm looking for people who are brash, ready to fail, ready to make mistakes, and ready to get up and get the deliverance. Ready to make a change, ready to shake off the bondages and wages of sin and finally beat lust at its root so they don't have to see it in any other part of their life. And every time that weed pops back up, they snatch it, master it, master your flesh. You know how you do that? You know the gym is not for aesthetic, right? You know that's for your flesh, right? Why did God even create exercise in the first place? He could have just made that we were just healthy for so long. But God created exercise so that we learn what it's like to beat our flesh into submission. Stop beating your meat and start beating your flesh. It's uncomfortable. It hurts. I'm tired. I've just worked 12 hours. You can come up with any reason why you shouldn't. I can tell you every reason why. You have every reason to. His breath he put in me will always go back and give him the glory for everything he's done in my life, and have no choice but to. His breath that he put in me
has no choice but give him glory and praise for what he's done in my life. And it's supposed to be a recycled system of going right back to him. If I wake up with breath tomorrow, it's going to do the same thing again. And you could too. So if you want to join the daily deposit, if you want to have a system in your life that wages war on this flesh, win this time around. Stop the cycle and structure of repeating over again the same cycles, praying, hoping, waiting. Instead of taking your human responsibility and picking up your mat and walking, bearing your cross, learning how to actually walk in it. The link is in the bio. Go to my Instagram. See for yourself, discern for yourself. Because if you're not ready to make a decision, wait for tomorrow. Wait for tomorrow. See what happens tomorrow. Wake up tomorrow and see what changes for you. I don't know. You'll decide. But if you are ready and you have decided that this would be the final time, this is the time that you stop waiting, that you stop settling, that you stop in your pride and arrogance of thinking that you got it and it's fine. If you're ready to admit that in true humility and transparency and accept what change can become, then that link is for you. And I'll be here.